Don't mind the overlays on the screen. I've been switching back and forth from horizontal and vertical streaming, and I forgot to hide those overlays when I went back to horizontal to make this video. It doesn't really affect the video because essentially this is mostly an audio video. Like, you can watch it, but the overlays that are on the screen don't really affect it anyway. So yeah, I just want to give you guys a heads up about that. What's up, guys? There are some crazy things going on in our country today, and I just wanted to talk about it a little bit. Obviously, you can tell from the title this has to do with stuff that Donald Trump has been doing. Let's get right into it, guys. I'm just here to talk today, as you can tell from the title, about the federal income tax change that Donald Trump has been talking about. Now, for those of you guys that don't know, I know some of my audience is a little bit younger, but I know almost everyone knows, but federal income tax is a certain amount of money that they take out of your paycheck, every single paycheck, to pay the federal government for things that they have to use the money for to run the government. And I just got my W-2. It's tax time right now. I just got my W-2 and I paid almost $6,000 in taxes this year. Now, to put that into perspective, that's within a 12-month time frame. So let's do 6,000 divided by 12. That's $500 a month, guys. Guess what? That's exactly how much my truck payment is. So essentially, if I wasn't getting federal income tax, I would essentially be getting my truck for free. But guess what? Due to the fact that we have to pay income tax, that's not a thing. So right here, I Googled up when was federal income tax enacted. Ratified in 1913, the Sixth Amendment and its resulting nationwide tax on income helped the federal government meet the growing demand for public services and progressive era stably during the 20th century. In 1913, as a result of declining tariff revenues and as part of a political push to shift tax burdens onto the wealthy, the 16th Amendment was ratified, which allows for federal taxes to be leveled on individual and business incomes. Now, like I said, guys, Donald Trump is what we're talking about today because he has come out and said that he wants to put an end to federal income tax. So let's go ahead and watch this clip, and then we'll go from there.
He's going to be very rich again, and it's going to happen very quickly. It's time for the United States to return to the system that made us richer and more powerful than ever before. You know, the United States in 1870 to 1913.
So he's that 1913. That was the day that it also said on Google that they started federal income tax. So he's about to tell us essentially maybe how it was prior to them starting that.
All tariffs, and that was the richest period in the history of the United States, relatively speaking. In other words, relatively. And they set up the Great Tariff Commission of 1887, and this commission had one function: what to do with all the money that we took in. It was so enormous that they had no idea. It was a blue ribbon committee. It was set up 1887, and what to do with all of the money that we had. And again, Teddy Roosevelt was a beneficiary because when McKinley was killed, he took over this vast sum of money, and he did all of those national parks and all of the other things. And I'm not knocking him, but he was given a vast amount of money, and that was all made through tariffs. We had no income tax. The income tax came in 1913.
So essentially what he's getting at is that the money that they used to fund the government was between those years came from them doing taxes on imports, which is what the tariffs are. So like people are exporting things to our country, and they're having to pay a certain amount to export those things that we're receiving.
As I said in my speech last week, instead of taxing our citizens to enrich foreign nations, we should be tariffing and taxing foreign nations to enrich our citizens. Does that make sense, right?
So essentially what he's getting at is that we're going to raise the tax on people exporting things to our country to pay for the federal income tax to make up for the difference of what would go away from the government from us not paying income tax. They're going to make that up by taxing the people exporting things to America at a higher percentage. Now, what that would do for our country is unbelievable, because if we didn't have to pay federal income tax, it would boost our economy so much. Every citizen would have so much more money than what we all have right now due to us being taxed. Now, with that being said, it does kind of make me feel like, okay, so What if people stop exporting so much to the United States due to the fact that they're being taxed at such a high rate? What if that makes it where, like, yeah, they're not wanting to export to us anymore? Well, essentially, the United States is such a big consuming nation that I feel like that probably wouldn't even happen. They'll probably just pay the taxes and keep it pushing. But who's to say that that's true? I'm not exactly sure because I don't know the exact statistics of that, but that's the first thing that comes to my mind. But if he's able to pull this off, that would actually be unbelievable. Also, so when you're at a job, when you're working for someone else in the United States, you're taxed at a way lower percentage than if you're working for yourself. When you work for yourself, you are taxed at a 33%. If you're a YouTuber and you make $1,000, the United States is going to take $333 and you're left with 660, I don't even want to say it, $660. That's for any self-employed person. It's 33% they're taking right off the rip. You make $10,000, they're getting $3,333. That's a cold narrative to me, bro. I hate that. Like, that makes me not even want to work for myself. Obviously I am a YouTuber, but I've never made enough off YouTube where I actually got taxed from it. But if they did take 33% of my revenue, I promise you that would be very, very, very disheartening to me. Like, I don't like that at all. It makes it where it's hard to even make your own business due to that. So, with that being said, if Donald Trump can pull this off, that is going to be absolutely amazing. It would make me so happy. So this also I thought this clip was also relevant to what we're talking about because Lacey, if you guys don't know, he's a weird IRL streamer. I don't watch him. I don't care about him, but he is in FaZe Clan, and I saw this. It says Lacey's heartbroken after paying $500,000 plus in taxes to the IRS. So Lacey, for him to have to pay $550,000, that being 33% of his income, he had to have made a lot. But that's not the point that I'm trying to make with this video. They took from him $550,000 in taxes that he made by himself, but had to pay due to the fact that we have such a high tax rate on self-employed people. So let's see what Lacey had to say about this.
Sick to my stomach. I open my bank app, and I don't check my bank app a lot because I don't like to just like track the number of how much money I have. And I look at my transactions, and all I see minus $550,000 IRS. When I tell you guys, I almost broke into tears. Like my heart's
Almost broke into tears? I would have broken into tears. What? I mean, he has to have so much money if he didn't actually cry from that. That's unbelievable.
sank to my stomach. Like, I genuinely feel sick.
Look at the chat putting the pointing finger and laugh face emojis on his chat. That is cold, bruh.
Could you imagine waking up and losing over $500,000 to taxes? I felt sick.
So, chat, essentially why I wanted to show that is just to show you guys how hard it is and how cold it is to be a self-employed person in the United States due to the fact that they're taxing you at 33%, dude. It's not right. It's not right at all. Like, it's pretty messed up. I don't know why they tax self-employed people at a higher rate than like a normal employee, because I don't even see the point of that. Like, it should be the same rate. But essentially, even people that are employed by employers and not self-employed are still paying so much, dude. It's really messed up. I had to pay $5,000. Lacey had to pay $550,000. We're in a different ballpark. But that almost $6,000 that I had to pay, dude. Like, if I had that, that would be just unbelievable. So let's take a look at these responses on Twitter and see what people are saying. Huge W. We're not gonna watch that. That would be wild. American citizens shouldn't pay. We should tariff all the other countries who have used our economy as a piggy bank. And so I can see where they're coming from on that. But as I stated before, it's going to be kind of weird because I feel like they might stop exporting to us so highly because they're being taxed at such a high rate. But it depends. If we're such a big consumer, they'll still export it because where else are they going to sell their shit, you know? So, I don't know. It's kind of weird. You don't understand a thing about economics, right? So see, I want to see some of the people giving contradicting opinions so I can kind of see if that's true or not. America been allowing other countries to use our resources and economy without paying while they tariff and impose fines on our corporations. Which resources? The ones they are buying, and you think other countries will blindly accept American tariffs? China, if you didn't know, is catching up in lightning speed and can easily take over to become the world's trading partner if the United States makes it impossible to trade. See, that's what I'm getting at. Like, what's to say that they wouldn't just stop exporting to us? And also, yeah, this guy's making a valid point as well. Tariffs will just increase prices for us, LOL. Because essentially, if they're getting taxed at a higher rate, they're going to try to offset that too, and they're going to just increase the price on the things that they're exporting to America. So essentially, this person said, interesting how it will work. That's exactly how I'm feeling, because I don't know exactly how it would work, because, you know, all the points that I've made, like, are they going to just up the prices to offset the tariff? Are they going to stop exporting to us completely? I don't know. I really don't know. Dang, I'm not even live, but we got a new sub. Your son Red Star. Yo, shout out you, bro. Shout out you, bro. If you're watching this video, shout out you for subbing. I'm not live right now, but hey, we just got that sub notification. Thank you so much, bro. To wrap this up, chat, if it does go down and it goes smoothly without the foreign countries bucking us and trying to offset the tariff, it's going to be amazing. But if the foreign countries don't really comply with Trump adding the extra taxes on the exports, I feel like it could be a recipe for disaster. But if it all goes smoothly, it would be amazing, especially for self-employed people, but also for people like me that work for a corporation and like just actually need that extra money. So thank you guys for watching. If you're new around here, please consider subscribing. If you're enjoying the content, please consider becoming a member. I appreciate you guys so much. We've been doing so good on the channel lately. We've been going insane, guys. Thank you so much, 𝐂𝐑𝐄𝐀𝐓𝐎𝐑. See y'all in the next upload.